Happy Monday morning, everybody. I just thought I might send out a little video to kind of connect with you guys. I think everyone has returned from all their vacations. We're at the middle of January at this point, so everyone's getting back into the groove of normal everyday life and ministry. And I just thought maybe I'd throw a couple thoughts at you today as you go about your busy work schedule. So, just a quick thought. Today, here in the United States, it is a national holiday that we call the Martin Luther King Jr. Day. Some of you may not be familiar with Martin Luther King Jr. He was a pastor who, during the civil rights movement in the 1960s here in the United States, really pressed our society to think more about the relationship between black people and white people, and from a Christian perspective for the most part. And his thoughts were quite valuable sometimes. I want to read a quote to you from him that overlaps some of what we do a little bit. He said in a sermon called "The American Dream" in 1965. I think it was a July 4th sermon, which is our Independence Day. He said the whole concept of the Imago Dei, that means image of God in Latin, for those of you that don't already know that. The whole concept of the Imago Dei is the idea that all men have something within them that God injected. Not that they have substantial unity with God, but that every man has a capacity to have fellowship with God. And this gives him a uniqueness. It gives him worth. It gives him dignity. And we must never forget this as a nation. There are not gradations in the image of God. We all will know one day that God made us to live together as brothers and to respect the dignity and worth of every man. And I really love that reminder that even though not everybody has a relationship with God through Jesus Christ, that not everybody even wants a relationship with God, that every single person out there bears the mark of their Creator. It goes back to Genesis chapter 1, right? When God said, "Let us make man in our own image after our likeness." That there's something in man, each and every single human being, that bears the mark of God himself. Now, we can debate all day about what gets included in that definition of what that mark entails, whether it's our intellect or our emotion or our capacity for relation, whatever. We can talk about that all day if we want to, but at its very essence, it's that capacity to have fellowship with God, to have a real relationship with our Creator, the divine Creator of all the universe. And it's either there in humans or it's not everything else, right? There's no gradation there. It's not like some people have more of a capacity than others. This makes me think about something that Jesus taught. And you guys might probably remember this from Matthew 22. Let me just read the verses real quick. Matthew 22, verse 15. Then the Pharisees went and plotted how to entangle Jesus in his words, and they sent their disciples to him, along with the Herodians, saying, "Teacher, we know that you are true and teach the way of God truthfully, and you do not care about anyone's opinion, for you're not swayed by appearances. Tell us then, what do you think? Is it lawful to pay taxes to Caesar or not?" But Jesus, aware of their malice, said, "Why do you put me to the test, you hypocrites? Show me the coin for the tax." And they brought him a denarius, about 1 day's wage. And Jesus said to them, "Whose likeness and inscription is this?" They said, "Caesar's." Then he said to them, "Therefore render to Caesar the things that are Caesar's, and to God the things that are God's." And when they heard it, they marveled, and they left him and went away. Is Jesus teaching pay your taxes? Sure. kind of. But he has him pull out a coin that has Caesar's image stamped on it. And he says, this belongs to Caesar. It's marked by Caesar. It bears his image, his likeness. It's made after him, right? He says, whatever belongs to Caesar, give to Caesar. But whatever belongs to God, give that to God. We each bear the image of our Creator, that capacity for a relationship with the divine. And Jesus says, what's more important than whether or not you're paying your taxes? Do that. You should do that. But even more significant is that you belong to God. And that everyone around you also bears that same mark of belonging to your Creator. Render yourself unto Him and seek to bring others into that fellowship with the God that has marked them. Kind of a beautiful thought for today, in my opinion, on Martin Luther King Jr. Day here in the United States. Whether you know Martin Luther King Jr. or not. Anyway, I'm praying for you today. I'm thankful for your ministries. I'm incredibly proud to be able to help lead and facilitate all of what you are doing all around the world. Thank you. May God bless you today, and shalom. Bye, guys.